Alright, I'm working on the rocker towers or rocker blocks, or they look like this. I'm working on material for it right now. I'm cutting right now. Going to cut the slot. Why do you do that? The camera does that unless I touch a spot for it to focus. But anyway, I'm going to cut this slot 250 wide. I've got the material 500 by 775. So, and what I'm going to do is then I'll bandsaw them off and then cut my 250 dimension. So anyway, I'm in the process of, I've got a 3/16 cutter in there, and I'm going to run down the middle of it. I've already made one pass. And I want that on center, that 250 slot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run down it. I don't know how close I am to the depth either yet. I spent yesterday on the computer working up a plan of attack for the rockers, and I think I've got an idea at how I'm going to do it. Right, so I went like that. Now I'm just going to turn it 180. That way it'll put it on center. And we'll go down it again. Hopefully it'll cut some off the backside. It didn't. So I'm going to crank it until it just touches. Right there. Just touching it. And then we'll come back and flip it again, and then we'll see where we're at. Carpal tunnel, I can hardly turn the switch on and off on the mill. Alright, so we were like that. I'm just going to flip it around 180. And then we'll measure that and then adjust half of what we need to adjust to make it at 250. We want a 250 to fit in there. We are at 215. We're at 215 right now. And we want to go to 250. 35 thou and divide that in half, because we'll flip it to keep it on center. So 17.5 thousandths. See, by taking and cutting the backside and then flipping it and cutting the backside, that puts that on center like I want. So we want to go 17.5. This is 0, the readout. And we'll go, oops, not 18 and a half, 17 and a half. Here we go. Then we'll have to get the depth. Because I'm pretty sure we're not close to what the depth we need. And we'll turn it. Put it in there. Yeah, I worked up some programs for the rockers, and we'll have to get material made, cut up for it, 10 pieces of material. All right, what do we got here? We have 250. Now, we want only 400 left. We are at 675. We're at 675, and we want 400, so we want 275 thousandths out of that yet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to crank back out. I'm going to zero it there and crank out 10. Leave 10 thou for a cleanup pass. All right, and we want to go up. What did I say? 200, right? Yep, 200. All right. 1, 2. We might have to put some coolant on that little cutter as it's going through there. Oh, I got my coolant bottle here. We're climb cutting through there against the wall, so that'll help not gouge it all up. So 3/16 end mill. Has more flutes than I want though. I'd like to have a 2-flute, but it's not a 2-fluter. 4-flute. Four-fluters just don't have the clearance for aluminum. Now I'm going to crank back that 10 thou that I cranked away. And This time I'm going to feed through it. Then we'll flip it around and go through it again. And we'll definitely want to get back over here and climb cut to finish it, so we get a decent finish. That's where the rocker arm is going to set into that. Okay. Not a real nice day outside, cold, sunny and cold. Maybe like 6 or 7 degrees. So I get done here, I'm going to go to the bandsaw and cut them off. We need 10 of them. Should be able to get 10 out of that piece. They're only a 1/4 inch wide. Okay, let's just give her one more check here. Make sure I'm okay. Yep. 250, 250, 250. All right, so I'm gonna go over to the bandsaw and start cutting these off. And when I get them all cut off, and I'll come back over here, and then I'll be back. I'm gonna cut away and go bandsaw these. Okay, not sure why the camera shut off, but just saying that I hope I have enough material, left material on these. This is the end piece, this thicker piece. So start by cutting that one down. I put a 1/2 inch end mill in. And up all the way, lock the quill. You know what? I think I'm gonna get a bigger end mill than a 1/2 inch. I'm gonna go to 3/4, because that way I don't have to make it over and back. I can just leave it in one spot and just crank over. You know, the full width of the. So let's get a 3/4 inch. with an itty bitty radius or no radius. Got one here, but I'm going to have to dress a little bit of a radius on it. Have to stone a radius on it because it's got a little bitty chip in the corner. I don't know if you can see it or not here. I'll show you. But if you look real close, see that little bitty chip right there. So we'll take care of that. And we'll just take a stone radius on it. And show you if the camera will focus on it, but I'm just taking it and holding the stone at an angle, at a bit of an angle for the primary. Just working a radius on the corner. That's a little bit of a radius. How's that look? That looks pretty good. How about this one? A little more on this one. The radius is probably not going to match, but that's okay. You're going to be close. Let's try that. We'll try that and see. I don't know how much of that got recorded, but I tried. Tried to show you. Change collets again. And we'll have to drop the table down 3/4 longer. About there. A little more. And then we'll hit it with a file. And we'll take cut on the other side. Hopefully the saw cut nice and square. It usually does. That saw. I got two different saws. One's an industrial grade Craftsman, and the other one is the El Cheapo Harbor Freight. And I actually like that. It's a smaller capacity saw, that Craftsman. It's a Craftsman industrial grade, but it sure cuts nice. Alright, so I've got 125 to take off of there, off of this one. Alright, this is 0, my dial. 125, let's go. I'm gonna go 70. I could have probably went the whole amount. And 25. Then we'll check it in the head, make sure it fits in the slot. It should. $250. Let me just jump over the surface plate here. I'll just grab this one and just make sure it fits in the slot. Fits in the slot, nice and snug. Just the way I want. So if they all are like that, it'd be a good deal. All right. So what do I want to do here? I'm going to 0 the dial, back it down 15, and then we're going to run a file over one here. And we'll see where we come out. Cleaned up. And that's leaving 15 thou. Let's crank it up to 15, run file over it again. I'm just running the file over the flat, or the side, and then knocking off the itty bitty burr that was there. Ain't much of a burr. And I'm going to crank up that 15, see where we're at, see if it's good. Looks good. Fits in the cylinder head nice and snug. Alright, we got 2 that fit. We gotta have 10. Right. Crank it back down. 15. I think I'm just going to leave it set there, the knee, and go through them all here. Just going to deburr it before I go to the next one. And then grab the next one, hit it with a file. Not much of a burr from the sawing, a little bit. Next one in. I could probably do at least 2 at a time, but that's okay. That's okay. These aren't all going to be exactly the same thickness because from the saw because I just held the scale down there and scaled them. I was going to create a little video of what I got planned for the rockers, and maybe I'll post that. That'll be just a video of the cam side of it. There's 1, 2, 3 programs that I've gotten for the little rockers that go in there that I think will work. Took a while to figure out how I was going to do it, but there's going to have to be a tooling tab on the end of it, on the end of the parts. So the parts, raw material will actually be a little bit bigger than what I really need, just so I can hang on to them. But it should work, and I should be able to get them. I should be able to get them exactly what the drawing is showing, rather than just a square block. I've seen people where I've watched a lot of videos of engines that people took and just made a square block and put it there. But I want it to look, I want those rockers, they're up and visible, because there's no rocker cover, so they're going to be visible. I want them to look, I kind of want them to look like they should, and hopefully they will. I got some material yesterday, got the material for the liners, some 12L14. I've used that stuff before, and it cut pretty nice, so that's why I decided to go with that instead of cast iron. Slightly cheaper than the cast iron too. See, now this one here didn't clean up, so we'll have to cheat and take a little more. Now we're leaving 10 thou. And I didn't crank it up much. It's slightly cheaper than the cast iron at what I got, and it's nice. It's nice material. I also ordered some L14 or 12L14 material for the valve stems. I will cut the valve stems and then cut the valve heads and then silver solder them together. Hopefully that's the plan anyway. Hopefully it'll work out. I've done that on another engine. What I do is I silver solder, I cut out the head blank, drill and ream the hole, and then it's a nice slip fit. I make it a slip fit. I don't make it tight, a press fit. I make it just a slip fit on there, a slip fit over the stem, the head. Put a nice little countersink on both sides so I can see where the silver, if the silver solder gets all the way through. And then silver solder them together. Then go back to the lathe and turn the chamfer on the valve head, the valve seat. I had cranked it back down, and I guess I'm going to have to. Did I do that for my V8? I'm trying to remember. I think, seems to me I did. I know that when I was working on my V8, I was just messing around, and I can't remember what size nail, but it was perfect. The head of the nail and everything, it was perfect for valves. But I was afraid to use the material because I don't know what that material would do getting heated up and cooled down. I didn't want to chance it, so I didn't. But it did work. I mean, it did look perfect for valves, that nail. The head of the nail was perfect for the valve. I'm trying to get the heads completely done, the head assembly completely done with the valves, springs, and before we go on to something else. And then after that, I'll probably do the liners. I got the material now. I'll go ahead and do the liners, the cylinder liners. I keep cranking it down and it's not cleaning up. It's actually leaving about 10 thou for the other side. And hopefully they'll clean up at 10 thou.